Now, I think that this parable, like most parables, Jesus is saying, I want you to be kingdom-minded. I want you to be someone who is seeking after Jesus. I want you to be someone who is also seeking after what his kingdom needs to be and look like. And often as I read this passage, all I focus on is the seeds part. All I focus on is like, okay, yeah, we're supposed to get the seed out here. But I haven't, until this week, I haven't really focused on really what is going on here is that God is calling us to be good dirt. God is calling us to be good soil. Now, in my 4 years that I've been here, I've learned a lot more about White County and Carroll County and just the surrounding areas, I guess. And I've learned that something that is awesome about this area is that in a lot of ways it feeds the world. Like, like our fields and the dirt and the soil is like so good, and like it's I'm starting to learn this just by like osmosis, I think, because it's like it's everywhere. We have farmers and we have all this ability to grow some of the best crops in the world, not just Indiana, not just the nation, not just North America, but the world, and it's so cool to me. And many times in these 4 years that I've done a lot of trips up to Michigan. I don't know why, but I guess I get to choose where we go, and I've always chose to go up to Michigan. And a lot of time on these trips, I have Pete Crowell is always sitting next to me on these trips, and often I completely bother him the entire time by asking questions about farming. And then it doesn't stop at farming. It talks about dirt and like seeds and all this crazy stuff that puts everyone else asleep. So I don't know, but it makes my trip a lot shorter. So thank you, Pete, for that. But I'm always fascinated, and I know there's a lot more detail to this, but it was just always amazing to me because you watch as you drive north. You have this great corn here, and then like you get to Michigan and they just grow blueberries. I don't know, which is awesome too. But he taught me about like it's a grainier. I don't know what he said, but it was interesting enough at the time. But soil is this fascinating thing. And here, listen to this. This makes no sense to me, but I thought I would say it anyway. Who cares? All right. Soil is a natural body consisting of layers, soil horizons, of mineral constitutes of variable thicknesses, which differ from the parent materials in their physical, chemical, and mineralogical characteristics. What's that mean? I have no idea what that means. But it's talking about how soil is complex. Soil is important. Soil is something that if we want to plant something, we have to have the right soil for it to work. And I think as I read this parable, what Jesus is saying to his disciples is that I want you to be good soil. I want things to grow in you. I want you to be good dirt. I want you to be good dirt. There's a quote here that I came across this week. It says this: the disciples are the good soil on which the seeds of the kingdom have been spread. We know that they are the good soil because if they were not, we would not be the church of Jesus Christ. So as Jesus was saying this to the disciples, he was saying, you are good soil. And because the disciples were faithful in being good soil, the church of Jesus Christ still stands today. A lot of the Sermon on the Mount, which is great, which happens earlier in Matthew 5-7. We talked about it a bit last week. The Sermon on the Mount talks about, I think you get to the conclusion of this, is that the church is supposed to be visible. The church is supposed to be visible. Jesus was teaching to his disciples, I want you to go and make the church visible. I want you to be good soil so that the church can be known by all people. When we get to that passage where it talks about salt and light, and it talks about the salt be the salt of the earth. Jesus was telling the disciples to preserve the church. Preserve the mission at hand. Make sure it lasts. Make sure it goes forever. Make sure that all people can hear the wonderful news that Jesus Christ is our Savior. And he was able to do this because the disciples decided, they said, we are going to be good soil. Often what can happen is that we can think that we are being good soil, but if all that we produce is envy and selfishness and pride in our lives, we're not good soil. If all we're producing is lust, if all we're producing is pain for others, we're not good soil. Jesus is saying to these disciples, Jesus is saying to you and to me, I want you to be good soil so that you can produce great things. I want you to be good soil so that you can produce love, so that you can extend grace, so that you can forgive when you have been wronged. I want you to be good soil so that you can allow mercy to flow from your life. I want you to be good soil so that you can care for the orphan, so you can care for the widow, so you can take in the poor. I want you to be good soil so that this world can know God's kingdom, and so that the kingdom of heaven can be here on earth. Can you be good soil? I also think that we can't forget about the seeds, though. I think the seeds are important. I think as we desire to be good soil, and as we say, God, plant in me things so I can go and do your will, God is saying, okay, but fill your pockets up with seeds. Fill your pockets up with seeds and spread those seeds wherever you go. They may fall upon people that are on the path. They may fall upon people that are in the thorns. They may fall upon people in the rocks. But just continue to throw those seeds out of love. Continue to throw those seeds out of grace and forgiveness. Continue to throw those seeds of mercy and justice. Because it will land on good soil. And God will begin to work in that individual. If we are to be authentic followers of Jesus Christ, if we are to be people who are desiring for the kingdom to be known by all, then we will say, Lord, let me be good soil. Let me take in what you have for me and produce beauty. And Lord, when you do this, let me just continue to scatter seeds out of your love and your justice, so that others will come and know who you are. Our desire is not to get knocked out in the second round or the first round of a tournament. Our desire is not to be that one seed that looks all powerful and yet really isn't authentic at all. Our desire is to be that person who lives in a way that looks like a one seed and is a one seed for Jesus Christ. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for what you have done in our lives. And Lord, help us to be good soil so that we can produce beauty. Lord, help us to share your seeds of love and mercy with others. In your name we pray. Amen.